Well, I want to provide a summary of the town board meeting from October 14th. There's been a request made by some adjoining property owners to actually close an unopened section of Spring Street. And what's happened in Hillsborough and many other cities over the years is sometimes a road gets platted on paper, but it never gets opened at all. And this is a case where there's really nothing there. So the general statutes in North Carolina provide for a process. If somebody would like to have the road officially closed, then basically the land reverts back to the adjacent property owners. So the town board set a public hearing to get public comment if there's any concerns or issues from anybody, or if they want to learn more about the process, they can come out to the January 13th board meeting where we'll have a hearing on that. Hillsborough was invited to participate in, it doesn't have an official name yet, it's been referred to as an umbrella marketing campaign. The towns of Warrenton, Murfreesboro, Halifax, and Edenton asked Hillsborough to participate, and it's a group of his small historical towns in the northeastern quadrant of North Carolina that are working to partner together to share a marketing campaign. The group is working on coming up with a passport concept that's been used in other places. So people who are interested in visiting the communities can go to visit historic sites like in Hillsborough and get stamped at the Burwell School or the museum or lots of the other great places we've got, and just as an additional way to market our areas and exchange information. So the town board passed a motion directing staff to continue working with this group to work through this. The town board went ahead and said we have an annual budget planning retreat that's usually done each year, usually in February or March. So this year the board set dates of either March 1st or March 8th, and if that's the time where we started a few years ago at the retreats of actually giving the board, putting together an entire budget document, and the board gets it several weeks in advance. And so we found that especially when times have been financially tight here in recent years, it makes the brainstorming and the visioning process much more practical, so we can stay narrowed down onto things that we can actually afford to do and carry out. And so we're going to actually start our budget process here with the staff in the next couple weeks and get working on that. So we found that setting a deadline before Christmas is a great motivator for everybody to get their stuff, and we work hard, and that process has worked great. And it gives us more time by seeing the budget in February and early March. If there's problems or things that we're not sure how to solve, it just gives us a much bigger window of time to whether it means getting feedback from the public or the employees and departments to do more problem solving. And we also get a lot of the technical stuff out of the way and behind us, so we can really focus our attention, like solving some of our health insurance concerns a couple of years. It let us really spend a lot of time and come up with a solution on that. Last thing, which wasn't on the agenda, but we got the last permit that we needed for Riverwalk, which is called the Clomar, and with the federal shutdown, it was sitting in somebody's office, and we just received it a couple days ago. We should be signing a notice to proceed to the contractor who won the bid the week of the 28th, we're hoping. So we're optimistic that hopefully within the next month we will see activity starting to work on the next phase of Riverwalk. At the upcoming October 28th workshop, we've got a few items scheduled on that are noteworthy. The town board wanted an update on the Waterstone Special Assessment District, and good news, as we're actually taping this, the closing on those revenue bonds is just about to take place here within the next hour. The last couple days, we've been going through a closing process, signing documents, reviewing documents. I don't think I've ever been through anything that had like a 51-point checklist that we had to go through through the bond closing. But so $4.6 million and some change has been raised through these revenue bonds. It's going to be transferred into an account that the trustee will have, and then that means the funds will be available to start construction on Cates Creek Parkway, finish the Waterstone Park, and some other miscellaneous things, as well as administering the bond and making sure there's enough money to make payments the first couple of years. So anyway, they have told us at Stratford Development They expect to start turning dirt out there within the next 60 days, which will be great because we understand there's a lot of interest in potential closing on the residential components here shortly. So that's anyway good news for Hillsborough and good news for the development. The board wanted to talk about pedestrian safety downtown. It's been an issue, especially as Hillsborough's been getting more popular, and we've had some recent pedestrians get hit by vehicles and lots of near hits and bike safety as well. So Stephanie Trueblood, one of our planners, and Police Chief Dwayne Hampton are going to get the board updated on kind of where we're at now. Fortunately, we've got quite a few efforts in process that improve pedestrian safety, and not just downtown, but in West Hillsborough and South Nash Street Business Center and some other areas we're investigating. So we'll get the board updated on what we're working on, try to identify some other gaps, and get some direction from the board. Also in the areas surrounding downtown, just speeding. I know Margaret Lane has become a bigger problem with pedestrian safety, more vehicle traffic going through there. So there's some other areas of downtown that have been a concern that we'll be talking about as well. In closed session, we're actually going to have 3 economic development topics for discussion, completely different projects. 2 of them are completely new that have just come up. Sometimes these things take months or years to evolve, but it sort of reflects what we've been seeing in the planning office. There's been more and more business interested in exploring, if they come to Hillsborough and develop, what are the rules, what are the processes, and getting information. So we've definitely been really busy with that, and we've got these 3 items. So also in November, we'll have the workshop there. Jumping ahead, we will do our annual balanced scorecard report. It's like our report card for the town, where we tie in what we're trying to accomplish with performance measures and identify where we met or exceeded or where we fell short.